The United Nations says that people sheltering in its training facility in the south of the Gaza Strip have been ordered to leave by the Israeli army by Friday afternoon, for their own safety, that is. The warning comes a day after at least 12 people were killed when tank fire hit the shelter in Khan Younis. Over 25,000 Palestinians have reportedly been killed in Gaza since Israel launched its offensive against Hamas, which committed the worst ever terror attack against Israel on October 7th of last year.
Families rush from the fighting in Gaza's south, desperately seeking safety as gunfire rattles in the distance. One mother pushes her sick son on a hospital bed. For this family, it's their third time being forced to move. It's like this every time, they say. Israel has previously told people to move to the south of the Gaza Strip, which is now the scene of intense fighting. A reported tank attack on a UN facility killed at least 13 people and injured dozens. Around 70,000 people are estimated to be sheltering in or around the complex. Israel has only now warned them to leave.
Now, in terms of how realistic it is to ask up to 70,000 people to evacuate in less than 24 hours, it is extremely unrealistic to expect all these people to be able to truly leave while the active fighting is still happening and to leave safely.
Hospitals in the area are overwhelmed and struggling to provide basic care, with many of the injured unable to even get to them for help.
There are three main hospitals in Khan Younis. They're all encircled currently. So the Nasser, Al-Aqsa, and Al-Amal, these are the main hospitals in Khan Younis, and it's extremely difficult to access them. And in fact, it's extremely difficult to access that part of West Khan Younis anyway.
Israel believes senior Hamas officials and Israeli hostages are in tunnels under Khan Younis. Thousands of people are now trying to leave the city, with many heading to nearby Rafah, joining the more than 1 million displaced Palestinians who have already fled there.
And for more, I can now welcome Hisham Mana, spokesperson for the International Committee of the Red Cross, joining us from Rafah in southern Gaza. Welcome, Hisham. As far as you're concerned, are people heeding the Israeli army's order to evacuate the UN shelter in Khan Younis? Can they?
Hello, Nicole, and thank you for having me. Unfortunately, what we have been witnessing over the past few days is that the north is becoming, the south of Gaza Strip is becoming another north. You cannot simply force thousands of families to continue being displaced from one place to another under the most dangerous circumstances without any access to the basic needs for survival, adequate water, food, medicine, and on top of all, safety and security. What we are witnessing now is that we fear that actually that the Gaza would lose its healthcare system capacity in total if the very few hospitals in Khan Younis governorate in southern Gaza Strip are pushed out of service as hostilities have become near them. The entire healthcare system is on its knees, and there's absolutely no guarantee now that medical staff will be able to continue their life-saving job. We have witnessed thousands of families had to flee from Khan Younis. The majority of them were actually displaced inside tents or inside these two few hospitals they took shelter in. Now they moved to the Rafah governorate, which represents only 20% of the total space of Gaza Strip. That's approximately 60 square kilometers, and now it's inhabited by over 1.5 million displaced human beings. Before October 7th, you are
in Rafah,
this governorate,
aren't you? Can you
Yes.
describe what the situation there is for you as someone who's living there, but also trying to assist people who are on the run?
Well, it's nearly impossible to assist people anymore because first, we lack all the security guarantees that would allow us to move freely and securely on the ground. The limitation on the humanitarian aid that is entering or allowed to enter Gaza has also compounded the suffering, and people literally live on the streets now, either in tents or makeshift. Now it's pouring rain. It's very rainy and it's very cold, and even the weather is no longer on the side of the people here. People hustle every day to have access to clean water. Some of the families are forced to fill buckets from the Mediterranean to use to clean their clothes or just wash themselves. And finding food is also a hassle for thousands of people. The north itself, unfortunately, families had to use animals' fodder and turn it into bread instead of flour, because humanitarian aid is no longer accessible to the north, and this is another catastrophe.
Yeah. The UN warned this week, in fact, that parts of Gaza might already be in famine. If the situation further deteriorates, what will be the consequences?
Unfortunately, the world will bear witness thousands of lives being lost without any meaningful reason, without any reason at all. The situation, unfortunately, just moves from bad to worse, which is why both parties to the conflict now must adhere to their legal obligations according to the international humanitarian law by ensuring the safety and security for the civilians, civilian public infrastructure, hospitals, and whoever is inside them enjoy a special protection under the international humanitarian law as long as they are not misused.
That was Hisham Mana with the Red Cross. Many thanks for your time, and please stay safe.
Thank you.